guys? Bearded Bricks here with the next installment of the city. I want to let y'all know that this is going to be a quick video. There's not really been much done. We have built the Sentinel, but I've spent quite a few hours trying to redesign to make it where it's a little better and a little more sturdy. I am just not happy with it. The end result, what we're going to have to do is attach him pretty much to a road plate like this, and then somewhere down the line he will be in line and falling back on a building. It's the only way that it's going to be able to support it. He's just too big to support by the legs. I have redesigned the legs a couple different ways, and this is the best way. They do hold the weight. The problem is after a while the top starts to just get so heavy that it can't support it on its straight, so it's going to have to bend forward or backwards, and then once you do that it just kind of takes over with the weight, and it'll need to lean up something. I can't blow out his stomach because of the way the structure is made to do like a fastball special with Colossus and Wolverine. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is having the X-Men fighting him and him falling back on a building and trying to catch himself, and then the building being destroyed that way. That is pretty much the only way I'm going to be able to include this guy. I have thought many different ways. I have thought about just ripping him apart, but when I feel like when you rip him apart and put like kind of his body laying in there, you don't really get the size of this thing. And if you could tell, the size is up there. So if you can imagine like this right here, leaning on the back of a building, it will not be this one. It will be a totally different section of the streets. It will go somewhere along the other side. I don't want to take away anything from this. This little street right here will not have a destructive section in it, I don't believe. I'm going to build the next base plate over here, and it might. I kind of feel like I need to add some kind of action sequences into these, so there might be something with some cars or do something. I do need to come up with an idea to show a little bit. I don't want this to be the only thing in the city that doesn't have an action scene. There is going to be one hitting inside of the apartment, but it'll be something that you will have to take the top off to see. It won't be anything big. There won't be any walls exploding or anything like that. What we're going to do is finish building this section up another level. There will be nothing more on top of this. This half is done. I need to add some doors and some windows, and I'll go back in the apartments and maybe add some details. This apartment right here is going to be one of the bigger, more expensive ones, so I might do a hidden scene in it, kind of like an Easter egg or something like that. I'm not too sure yet. The next section that does come over here will include a big apartment complex, and I think what I'm going to end up doing with the apartment complex is doing an Easter egg in each level. I'm not really sure about that yet though. If you do happen to watch this, comment below what you think. I still have a lot of buildings inside this city that I'm going to have to hide some things in. If you've been watching on Instagram and keeping up with the pictures, you know that I have a Buzz and Woody, and you've heard me talk about doing like an Andy's room type thing. I want to go back and do a WandaVision room where it's black and white. There will be some things done with the Han and Greedo of Who Shot First in a Bar. All that stuff is coming. I just don't know if it's going to be in this section. You'll have another base plate here, and then we'll have the Empire State Building. Beside the Empire State Building, on this side will be Baxter Tower, and on this side will be Stark Tower. So I think that all of that tallness and bigness going there will kind of take away from this. Then one of the next big buildings we will be doing is the Stark Tower. Once I finish this and maybe the next base plate, I'll be going onto the Stark Tower, just because everything on the back row can be done, and then I can set it all up and start shooting the videos on the other side, and you'll see how the city is coming together. I still have to do the streets around the Empire State Building and the sidewalk. That is the only thing that is not done, and I need to add the minifigs. One thing I plan on doing is I want all the minifigs. I want it to be the last part of this video series. I want it to be kind of like the hiding everything and then maybe explaining why we did it. The only sucky thing about this is with it being a city, and like I said, with all these apartments, is it's kind of impossible for you to see inside of them and tell what's inside of them without me taking them apart. So one of the other things I will be doing in this series is, instead of they're being included in a chapter, I'm going to do a series breakdown also, where when one of these is done, I'm going to go through each section of the city and explain something. Like I'll explain this base plate and the scene, but I won't be able to do that until the minifigs are placed, so that will be something that's after. So look forward to that, and look forward to seeing much more of this coming. I am not stopping this. I am going to continue. I do have some buildings I'm really excited about doing. One of them is going to be a massive Easter egg in itself and kind of a joke. It's not something that I'm a big fan of, but it's something that I support. And the next after that will be my favorite scene in comic book history. It is releasing my favorite character, and if you know me, you know what I'm talking about, and you know the scene I'm talking about. I've been designing it on Studio, and I think I have the pretty much final concept. The only problem is I don't know if how I want it to work is going to work. Because it's on one base plate by itself, I do kind of have limitations to how big it's going to be. The problem is I need it long and not wide. With it doing on a base plate, it's going to give it kind of square, so I have to figure out what I need to do to basically make that work in the junction of itself. I thought about including it into being on 2 base plates, but it just doesn't make sense, and it won't look right with that being that way and the rest of the city being based off of one by themselves. This is a much closer look of the Sentinel MOC. I am going to go back through and redo some things. Like I said, the legs are final. I've pretty much made them the way they need to be. They stand up straight, they bend, everything works. The only problem I'm having is here in the back where this piece right here sits up against this piece. It just does not do it correctly. I don't know how to change it. I'm pretty much stuck with that. The head is 90% done. I'm gonna go back and redo and make it a little bit more structural sound. And the body, I'm just stuck with. The arms are fine. The chest is fine. The problem comes with the back. It's just really unstable, and how everything kicks together, it just does not work. I don't want to ruin it, and I don't want to ruin the look of it, so being and going back and trying to change some things might eventually take away from it. But as you can see, it does look pretty awesome. One of the things I am really not happy with is the amount of fingers he has. If you see the comics, you know he has 5. They just have normal hands, and on these they only have 4. So I will go back and I will be adding more fingers, but I still don't think with the weight of this thing and how much this thing weighs that I'm just going to be able to stand it up straight. It's going to have to be falling on a building. But when I do that, it will show a little bit more destruction. I think we can do it and make it look awesome. So I'm going to try to do that, and I'm going to try to do it justice. One of my next questions for everybody is, of course, everyone knows that this is the comic book store. I've spent so much time redesigning this and redoing it. I have a question for everybody that keeps up and follows us. Up here needs to be some kind of symbol or something showing like a statue of the comic book store. The only thing I could come up with was maybe do a couple different like figures, put them together to all make one and do like a funny statue. Or I thought about doing a Batman signal, but with this being a Marvel City MOC, it doesn't really need to be Batman. If you have an idea, please let me know. Please comment down below. Please message us on Instagram. We wanna try to reach out and get somebody else's input on this. I just cannot come up with something I'm happy with, and I thought about doing a gargoyle also, because in New York City, everybody knows that when it has to be some kind of superhero, they have to stand. They have to do something with a gargoyle on the side of a building, hanging from it, something in that sense. And I just don't know if I like that idea of being that it's down this low. So please comment below. Let me know what you think. That will be it this week for the MOC. Please remember, if you have not yet, like and subscribe. Keep up with this. Follow us on Instagram. We love the support. We love to hear from y'all. Of course, if you have any ideas with this MOC, please let us know down below. Please comment. Please message us. Email us. Whatever you want to do. But thank you for watching. And don't forget, every Thursday we go live, and every week you will be getting an update about the MOC. Thank you for watching, and come back and see us.